Welcome to this hour's news. Let's hear the headlines first. Boris Johnson moved to intensive care unit as coronavirus symptoms have worsened. Trump angrily lashes out when confronted with critics of coronavirus response. Coronavirus may be giving Beijing an opening in the South China Sea. Miss England hangs up her crown to return to work as doctor during coronavirus pandemic. World short of 6 million nurses, says WHO. Man in Russia kills 5 people for talking loudly, says investigators. And footballer Kyle Walker's sorry for hosting party with two sex workers while urging fans to stay at home during coronavirus lockdown. These were the headlines. Now let's jump into the details news. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson was moved to an intensive care unit Monday after his condition with coronavirus symptoms worsened, his office has said. Johnson, who is 55, was first admitted to St Thomas Hospital in London on Sunday evening for what he said were routine tests. Says on social media that he was in good spirits. But the apparent change in the leader's health has shocked the nation, with politicians from his party and the opposition voicing their support for the leader as the country battles an outbreak that has killed more than 5,000 people. Over the course of this afternoon, the condition of the Prime Minister has worsened, and on the advice of his medical team, he has been moved to the intensive care unit at the hospital, a Downing Street spokesperson said. According to Downing Street officials, Johnson remains conscious and has been moved to the intensive care unit as a precaution, in case he requires ventilation. The move strikes a sharp contrast to earlier reports on Johnson's condition. During his period of self-isolation, Downing Street has said that Johnson's symptoms were mild, and on Sunday said his hospitalization was just a precautionary step. President Donald Trump's contempt for science and a disdain for experts who question his political narratives are driving his increasingly defensive and brittle management of the coronavirus pandemic. Trump was short-tempered and rude during much of his daily briefing on Monday, as he refused to even listen to questions about shortcomings in the federal government effort. On Sunday, Trump muzzled the country's top infectious disease expert Dr. Anthony Fauci before he could contradict his own gushing assessment on an unproven COVID-19 therapy. On Monday, the president also blasted a report by an experienced Health and Human Service Department watchdog official that found critical supply shortages at hospitals all over the country, claiming it was politically motivated. Tensions between science and politics that lie at the core of the battle to eradicate the pandemic while still saving the economy will become even more acute as pressure grows inside the administration to reopen normal life. Over the weekend, one of Trump's economic advisors, Peter Navarro, clashed with Fauci over the effectiveness of hydrochloroquine, the drug of the president insists could have saved COVID-19 patients, according to people familiar with the disagreement. Navarro told CNN's New Day on Monday that despite his lack of medical education, he was competent to weigh in on the issue. As the United States military was embroiled in controversy over the headlining of an outbreak of coronavirus on one of its Pacific aircraft carriers, China was resuming operations in the South China Sea. In the first week, the English language website of the People's Liberation Army has posted stories on large-scale naval exercise and the sinking of Vietnamese fishing boat. In addition, it also announced the ramping up of military industries in Wuhan, the original epicenter of the COVID-19 pandemic. The South China Sea drills came after the U.S. aircraft carrier USS Threadord reversible passed through those waters on its way to Guam, where it is now docked after more than 170 cases of coronavirus have been reported aboard the ship. The Roosevelt's commander, Captain Brett Crozier, was stripped on his command last week after a memo he wrote warning that urgent action has needed to protect the lives of his crew was leaked to the media. The U.S. Navy's other aircraft carrier in the Pacific, the USS Ronald Reagan, is also facing a handful of positive cases, a defense official told CNN last week. The ship is docked in Yokosuka, Japan, undergoing maintenance. A beauty queen who was crowned Miss England in 2019 has returned to the United Kingdom from overseas charity work to continue her career as a doctor amid the coronavirus pandemic. Basha Mukherjee took a career break as a junior doctor after competing in the Miss World pageant in December 2019. Mukherjee represented England at the pageant after winning Miss England. Invited to be an ambassador for several charities, Mukherjee has planned to hang up her stethoscope and focus on humanitarian work until August this year. I was invited to Africa, to Turkey, then to India, Pakistan, and several other Asian countries to be an ambassador for various charity work, she told CNN. At the beginning of March, the 24-year-old had been in India for 4 weeks on behalf of Coventry Mercy Alliance Club, a development and community charity for which she was ambassador. They visited schools with donations of stationery and also gave money to a home for abandoned girls. As COVID-19 captures globe headlines, the World Health Organization warned Tuesday that the world needs nearly 6 million nurses. The UN's health agency, along with partners Nursing Now and the International Council of Nurses, underscored in a report the crucial role played by nurses, who make up more than half of all health workers worldwide. Nurses are the backbone of any health system, WHO Chief Tedros Adhanom said in a statement. Today, many nurses find themselves on the front line in the battle against COVID-19, he noted, adding that it was vital they get the support they need to keep the world healthy. The report said that there are just under 28 million nurses on the planet. In the 5 years leading up to 2018, the number grew up 4.7 million, but this still leaves a global shortfall of 5.9 million. The WHO said, pointing out that the greatest gaps were in poorer countries in Africa, Southeast Asia, the Middle East, and parts of South America. The report urged countries to identify gaps in their nursing workforce and invest in nursing education, jobs, and leadership. A man in central Russia shot and killed 5 people for talking noisily at night under his windows, investigators said Sunday. The shooting took place in the Ryazan region during stay-at-home orders aimed at slowing the spread of the coronavirus. A 32-year-old man from the small town of Yalmata opened fire on a group of 4 young men and a woman who were talking loudly in their street under his windows at around 10 p.m. on Saturday. Yalatama is located near the city of Ryazan, which is situated some 200 kilometers southeast of the capital Moscow. The man went to his balcony and complained to the group, and a dispute erupted before he reached for his single-barrel hunting rifle. They all died of their injuries on the spot, it said in a statement. England and Manchester City footballer Kyle Walker has apologized for reportedly hosting a party with 2 sex workers, while urging fans to stay at home and respect the United Kingdom government's coronavirus lockdown. British tabloids, including The Sun, posted details over the weekend of a gathering Walker held at his home. which included two sex workers and a friend. The meeting breaks the UK's current lockdown laws, which ban gatherings of more than two people, and states that Britons must not leave their homes apart from the essential reasons and only with members of their own household. Last month, Walker has urged supporters to follow those rules, writing on Twitter. On a serious note, though, please everyone stay home, look after one another through this difficult time, and check in on loved ones but don't visit them. In a statement sent to CNN by Walker's agency, the England's fullback said, I want to take this opportunity to issue a public apology for the choices I made last week, which have resulted in a story today about my private life in a tabloid newspaper. Understand that my position as a professional footballer brings the responsibility of being a role model. As much, I want to apologize to my family, friends, football club supporters, and the public for letting them down, he added.